Today on Locked On Rockies, recapping the loss to the Dodgers, looking at where the Rockies rank so far in spring training, plus some projections have the outfield set for the Rockies. And I have a question. If Brenton Doyle and Jake McCarthy are on the field at the same time, who leads off?
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the third day of March in the year 2026. I'm your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Paul Holden, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where you can find your team every day. And if your team is the Colorado Rockies, guess what? You're in the right spot, because that's what we do around here. Free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where you can be part of the show. You can fire off your Rockies hot takes. You can let me know what's on your mind when it comes to the Colorado Rockies. And make sure when you're checking out those videos, like the videos, subscribe, hang out with us over there on YouTube. I am Paul Holden, your Rockies fan extraordinaire. Been bringing you this daily Rockies podcast for over 6 seasons now. That means hundreds of episodes of this podcast with you, the everydayers out there. So thank you so much again for all your support. Today, we'll recap the Rockies' loss to the Dodgers, in which was a competitive, good game, a little back and forth when it comes to a spring training game. A loss, sure, a bummer, but one of those games where you look at it and you say, all right, there was some good signs there. Some things, obviously, you'd like to see go the other way, but we'll break that down. Plus, a little bit of projections on the roster from Thomas Harding. So we'll take a look at those. And I want to focus on the outfield as well, as basically Harding pointing out that the outfield he believes is going to be Beck, Doyle, and McCarthy. So if Doyle and McCarthy are on the field, who leads off? The obvious answer would probably be Brenton Doyle, right? That's what we're used to. But we're seeing a lot of McCarthy lead off here in spring training. So I wonder if that's going to be the part of the plan as well. Plus, I just wanted to take a look at where the Rockies are compared to other teams so far in spring. So we'll take a look at the stats here. We'll take a look at some of the leaderboards, and we'll dive into all that on today's episode. Today's episode is brought to you by MLB The Show 26. Visit MLBtheshow.com/lockedon and use code LOCKEDON to get a pack of to use in Diamond Dynasty. Pre-order now, available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. All righty. So the Rockies lose to the Dodgers here 7-5 in a game that the Rockies only were out hit by a couple. The ninth inning provided some fireworks. Unfortunately, the Dodgers pulling away with 4 of their 7 runs in the last 2 frames of the ball game. Adam Lasky and Ryan Miller responsible for the damage there. 3 innings worth of work for Lasky with 2 strikeouts there, allowing 5 hits and the 2 earned runs. Miller, strikeout, a walk, 2 earned runs, and 2 hits there. Jimmy Herget picks up a couple of innings worth of work as he lets up a walk and an earned run there. So, again, as we're looking for the pitching staff to sharpen things up a little bit, another, a multi-run, another 5+ run allowed game for the Rockies pitching staff in spring training, as everyone's continuing to work and tweak and all that stuff. We were critical obviously on Monday, but I think I feel the same way, where I'm not blowing. It's not, oh my gosh, I'm totally worried it's all going to collapse. At this point, it's a lot of tweaking. It's a lot of stuff that's under construction still here, but it's also a reminder of, this, the bullpen and the pitching is something that we still need to keep our eyes out and keep our focus on here. But good to see the Rockies picking up some strikeouts there. Almost every Rockies pitcher except for Herget picking up at least 1 strikeout for a total of 5 on the day. The Rockies on offense also only striking out 5 times there as well. Good sign for the Rockies here was a couple just good solid at-bats from some guys here in this one. Zach Veen picking up a couple of walks and being able to score there. Walks are important for me. I mean, I know it's not the most glory stat here, but we want to see walks here. We want to see the Rockies be able to get that control of the zone. Like we've been talking about a lot here. So good to see Zach Veen being disciplined up there, picking up a couple of walks in that situation here. Mickey Moniak, I mean, hitting the cover off he's still hitting the ball well and really establishing himself as a guy that's going to be a big offensive threat for the Rockies here. He will be looked at, maybe a hot take here, but not too hot if you've been following the Rockies. Mickey Moniak might be the secret sauce of the Rockies offense where, hey, we don't have him out in the outfield. He's DHing. He's working well with being able to drive in and put the ball in play to score Brenton Doyle and Jake McCarthy. Hey, we don't have, we took these guys out. All right, Mickey Moniak is in. He gives us some power here. He's giving us a little bit of a thump. And I think from what you've heard from Mickey Moniak so far in spring, I think he's one of those guys that is certainly intrigued with and happy with the vibe shift, the changes that he saw, the differences between last year and this year. The vibe conversations, the vibes being better continues to be one of the buzzwords, buzz topics, I should say, that you hear about the Rockies. But Mickey Moniak so far in his limited amount of work has really been impressive for the Rockies here to start things off in his really limited amount of work here so far in spring, with only just coming into the day with those 9 plate appearances there with so already showing that the power is still part of that. And I think that he's going to be a real interesting piece to pairing with. We got to see Mickey Moniak take that step in the right direction with the Rockies last year on the offense on the offensive side. It'll be great to see how we see Mickey Moniak pair with a healthy Ezekiel Tovar, a healthy Brenton Doyle. Obviously, we did see Moniak and Doyle on the field a good amount last year, but that with that being a good core, and you throw Hunter Goodman in the mix there, you're starting to look at a couple of guys that hey, if you sleep on them, if you don't prepare, if you don't attack those guys properly as a pitcher, you can get punished. That's a nice. It's not going to be the best core. It's not going to be one of the most elite cores, but it's a good solid little foundation there with those guys for the offense. And it'd be great to see how, if Willie Castro and McCarthy and whether it be Veen, whether it be Veen, whether it be Beck, these guys, if they come on the offensive side as well, it'll be really nice to see how they pair with these guys here. I think hopefully, especially when we compare the Rockies opening day lineup to the lineup that finished in the lineup that was post trade deadline for the Rockies last year, the Rockies offense should look and hopefully outperform that chunk of the season last year on offense. Another 5-run performance too from the Rockies offense. Good to see, including those a couple of long balls. Mickey Moniak hitting one, Kyle Karros hitting one again, hitting a long fly back to back there as well. I think it was back to back on. Felt like back-to-back pitches as well. Charlie Condon did play a little bit in right field if you were looking for an update there, but 0 for 4 for Jordan Beck and 0 for 3 for Hunter Goodman in this one. So yeah, I mean it was a good just spring training game. The Rockies are almost back to a 500 spring training team, whether you care about that or not. As the real fun of the spring is starting real soon with the World Baseball Classic coming up here. But the Rockies, yeah, it was the 4 homers that were the problem. Like we said, the Rockies are their pitching is going to be successful if they can prevent the long ball, prevent the walks, and be efficient when you can. The Rockies are going to give up home runs. That's and obviously that's not surprising anybody here, but it's how do you keep them to the solo shots, right? How do you keep it to doing the least amount of damage possible that a home run can do? And how do you minimize the frequency of them? That is going to be a challenge for the Rockies throughout the year. But I think why you saw the ERA inflate so much last year, why the Rockies had such a struggle was the fact that they were walking so many people and they were giving so many free passes up there as well, in addition to a high whip across the rotation there. So still lots of room for improvement. And like I said, that's why I think the bullpen is still pretty wide open for a lot of guys. And while some of these names are out at the World Baseball Classic, this is time to shine for those guys that are wanting to kind of give themselves a little bit more. Some bullpen arms are going to get a little bit more face time, right? They're going to get a little bit more of a look here at this when you're looking at some of the names here that are on World Baseball Classic rosters. And here's a friendly reminder for you. I'm reading from the Guerrilla Sports piece, but a lot of the Rockies media folks put these out today. Canada's got Antoine Jean and Edouard Julien. I always like doing those. I like putting a little French on there. But Juan Mejia is playing for the Dominican Republic. That is going to be a really fun squad to watch. For Team Israel, Cole Carrick and Troy Johnston. And Venezuela, the Antonio Senzatella, Ezekiel Tovar. There'll be, I believe that's got Herman Marquez on that team as well. Let me double check. I believe he is going out there. Let me get that. And I think Patrick Lyons or someone put that Ezekiel Tovar was right next to Gerardo Parra in a picture that they took here at the World Baseball Classic, getting ready to go. So, totally off topic. I know. I love Gerardo Parra. Total glue guy. I've said it a lot of times on the show. He was always a blast to watch. Michael Lorenzen is pitching for Italy. Team Mexico's got Brennan Bernardino and Victor Vodnik. Puerto Rico has got Willie Castro. So, yeah, there's a couple of guys from the Rockies bullpen there that are going to be at World Baseball Classic stuff. So, now's your chance. Now just like everyone else, we've talked all the other position battles we've talked about. That spot in the bullpen, the competition is fierce for that as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the Rockies stats where they rank so far here in spring training. Plus, if Thomas Harding's projections of the roster are right, we ask who leads off. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes MLB The Show 26. The greatest game in baseball is back with its newest installment. Baseball fans are going to have a hard time pulling themselves away from the game, and I can attest to this. When I get locked in, when I'm in the career mode, I am trying to grind. I'm trying to get myself to the majors and get drafted by the Rockies, of course, as soon as possible. And you can see all the fun for yourself because guess what? You know what the best part about MLB The Show is? The Rockies got a shot at the title every season, especially when you're in charge. You can see all the fun for yourself in the franchise mode as your favorite team, and you can tweak and set the rules to how you like to play as well. If you're a gamer, a baseball fan, or just want to enjoy America's favorite pastime in a new, exciting way, you are going to love MLB The Show 26. Play as your favorite team and franchise players and see if you have what it takes to win your own World Series. Probably going to be the quickest way to get you a World Series title as a Rockies fan. Visit MLBtheshow.com/lockedon and use code LOCKEDON to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection is required. Pre-order MLB The Show 26. Now available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. We are also brought to you by TurboTax. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment, that's not the most convenient. Sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, emailing back and forth and wondering if they really get your situation. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with the real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert gets to work, and you get every dollar you deserve, while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to TurboTax.com/local. That's TurboTax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. Locked On Rockies back with you all here for segment number 2 of today's episode of Locked On Rockies, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel. Take your love of the show to the next level. Get Locked On Rockies ad-free. Chat with the everydayers. Hang out with us in the Locked On Rockies chat there and talk sports with everydayers from around the globe in the Everydayer Club Discord server. $5 a month, $50 a year is going to get you access to the ad-free episodes and the group chat with me and other listeners of the show. Tap the link in the show notes or go to lockedonrockies.supercast.com. That's lockedonrockies.supercast.com. All right, so wanted to take a quick look and see where the Rockies ranked statistically so far in spring. Again, spring training stats. It is what it is, right? You know, we'll take it as it comes. That's how it. It is. They're playing ball. We gotta react to some of the stats here. Rockies are tied for second in all of spring training with 19 home runs. Really something I know it's spring. I know the level of pitchers it varies greatly, and the readiness of pitchers and everyone varies greatly. I don't want to put too much stock into it, but the ceilings of a lot of these guys is 15 plus homers, is between 20 and 30 homers for some guys. Some guys probably have their sights set on 30 homers for the Rockies this year. I think this is if they continue to lead the yard over spring, hopefully that sets the momentum going into the regular season. Going to be different and going to be difficult, especially with the Rockies. With the how the weather might be in the beginning of the year. But they do go to California quite a bit, so we'll see if some of that warmer weather helps, and some of the environments that they're in helps them heat up the bats early. But Coors Field, you never really know what baseball will be like, especially with it being March and April, and really the first half of May, or almost all of May. I know it's been a very dry winter for Colorado with some exceptions, but we all know you never really know. Also here, the Rockies are tied for 6th in all of baseball in RBI with 66. The Rockies offense here is 10th in walks, and for striking out, the Rockies ranked at 19th. So they're still striking out. They're still a team that's on the higher end of strikeouts so far in spring. Would like to see. Obviously, that's going to be an area we're watching all season long here as well. The Rockies also are also 6th here in stolen bases. They could be in it's two-way tie for 4th if they had one more stolen bases. Only 4 stolen bases outside of the lead here of the Houston Astros. So the Rockies are showing that they are indeed interested and focused on this base running aggression. That is setting the tone early for that to be part of the Rockies game here so far. The Rockies are 6th in batting average at 284, and the Rockies here are 2nd in all of spring training in OBP at 384, just behind the Giants. And slugging, the Rockies are 3rd at 511, and OPS, the Rockies are 1st in all of spring training at 895. So the offense certainly, has opened up camp in a good spot, and I think you're feeling a little bit of that confidence from the rejuvenated Rockies locker room there in these. But spring training stats, do we really care? Not at the end of the day, but it feels good to see the Rockies at the top of the leaderboard, at least for a little bit there. The Rockies have a couple of guys tied for the lead in hitting home runs as well at 3. Charlie Condon up there. And also, who did I see? I need to make sure I get it. Yeah, and TJ Rumfield. They are all in a tie for first there for the batting average here. Ryan Ritter is in the top 10 at 400 on base percentage here for the Rockies. Ryan Ritter is also in the top 10. TJ Rumfield in a tie for 10th, 450 for Rumfield, 455 for Ryan Ritter. And TJ Rumfield, 3rd in slugging at 875. Ryan Ritter at 650 there as well. And OPS here as TJ Rumfield up there as well, 1.325. Ryan Ritter also in the top 10 as well. So good starts for the offense for there. Obviously, not a ton of plate appearances, and not to make those numbers a little less drastic, but we'll see how it all where it shakes out at the end of spring, of course, and if that's enough for these guys to make the roster. It certainly seems like TJ Rumfield's in a good spot, I'd say. Real quick, just on the pitching side here, Rockies 23rd in strikeouts here. Team ERA in spring. The Rockies are at over 6 ERA and that is good for the 22nd there in baseball. Let's take a look at WHIP here. The Rockies are 20th, so bottom 10 in baseball in just about every of the pitching categories so far in spring. 19th. Tie with the Guardians in batting average allowed. So just a quick stats update of where the Rockies rank so far here in spring training. Also, just wanted to jump over here real quick and see if you all had any thoughts on this, because I think there's a answer here that's based on, tenure and what we're used to here. Brenton Doyle is going to be the leadoff guy for the Rockies. That seems like the easy answer, but I do wonder, with the amount that we've seen Jake McCarthy leading things off for the Rockies, if that's going to have Doyle maybe drop to number 2, potentially. I don't know if they're thinking third for Brenton Doyle. I would imagine. I don't know if the Rockies are trying to also maybe space out the speed between the two of them in the lineup. And trying to make sure that hey, would it look better to go Doyle, McCarthy, Moniak, Goodman, and then where does Ezekiel Tovar factor into that if he's not batting 2, in 2 spot? Does McCarthy fall back into the back half of the lineup, and it sets the stage for the back end of your lineup there, 6, 7, 8, 9 spot there? I don't know if he falls all the way down to the bottom of the order. But it'll be interesting to see where the Rockies end up placing these two guys in the batting order here. But I think I would assume, just going off of tenure, Doyle is going to be the one that gets the nod there. And I brought this up because Thomas Harding over on his has updated projections that he just posted. And here's what he projects for the outfield: Jordan Beck, Brenton Doyle, and Jake McCarthy. The Rockies are set up well to have a rotation with these three, plus Mickey Moniak, with one always available to serve as designated hitter. The Rockies need Doyle's top-notch defense and center at home, but that's a difficult park. So McCarthy occasionally during homestands, and McCarthy and Moniak on the road could give Doyle a break. Beck likely moves from left to right, and McCarthy uses his speed and range in left at Coors Field. So again, if Doyle's out of there, anytime Brenton Doyle's not in the lineup, Jake McCarthy will lead off and the Rockies will adjust from there. But when they have both of them in the lineup, that's going to be an interesting way of how they use their speed and how they use their strengths and weaknesses as often on offense there for the players as they construct and build their lineups and approach there in the regular season. Just in case you're curious here from Harding's projections, I think one of the ones that's interesting here is TJ Rumfield and Edouard Julien are going to be his projected first baseman. Here's just a little bit on that. Rumfield, obtained in a trade with the Yankees, has brought solid slugging in his bid to earn a job as a rookie who has yet to debut. Julien, acquired from the Twins in late January, can play first base or second base. One problem is both bat left and right swinging Blaine Krim is nursing an oblique injury. Tyler Freeman, coming off a back injury, could add first base. MLB pipeline number 70 prospect Charlie Condon is getting a chance to show how close he is. So I don't know. My take there is, it doesn't sound, I don't know how confident Harding is there at first base. Some of these other ones, not too surprising. Outside starting rotation: Freeland, Lorenzen, Sagano, Quintana, and Feltner is who Harding says is going to get that spot. And note, a 5-man rotation there sends back in the bullpen: Halverson, Vodnik, Mejia, Herget, Agnos, Senzatella, Bernardino, and Hill, making the bullpen for the Rockies there. You can get the full breakdown and the descriptions on who will break camp with the Rocks. Here are some updated predictions from Thomas Harding on MLB.com. All right, let's take a break and finish up the show with some comments and what's next coming up here on the Locked On Rockies podcast. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes FanDuel. College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night. From early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts, there's always action on the board. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want, rivalry games, ranked matchups, whatever fits your read. And you can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you see the slate playing out. It's the big dance, though. You never know how things are going to end up shaking out. Hey, if you want to put something on a crazy upset alert, and I am no expert in the world of college basketball, I have not watched it at all. Ohio Bobcats to upset the ranked Miami. Are they the Red Hawks? I believe the Miami Red Hawks in the MAC tournament, if they're even playing each other. Because, hey, I'm all about my Bobcats. Go safe, go bold, and ride with the team you've been following all season with that profit boost that'll up your potential payout. It's your parlay, your style, now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. We are also brought to you by Gametime. MLB opening day is almost here, and you can feel it. Fresh starts, big expectations, and that first crack of the bat. Whether it's a breakout rookie or a division race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like being in the ballpark for it. The only problem? Getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's where there's Gametime. The Gametime app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's simple to use. The Gametime guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. And my favorite feature, not only those upfront fees, you're going to see your seat with the panoramic seat view. So when you're picking your tickets, you're going to pick the right tickets for you. You're going to get the right deal because you're going to know exactly what you're paying for, and you're going to know exactly what you can expect from your view because you got the panoramic seat view. You can't go wrong with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Locked on Rockies here, wrapping things up in segment number 3 of today's episode of Locked on Rockies. Hey, I would love to know in the comments here. I was talking about this in the Everydayer Club Discord server. Did you see the ballpark pass thing that the Rockies are doing? $200 gets you into every home game this year. And it's a standing room only ticket. And I'm looking at this. So I'm assuming rooftop or wherever they have standing room only stuff. I'm assuming rooftop, and there's some areas there. And listen, I understand if you're, I can see why I can see already the classic usual negative negative to this. Oh, don't support. Oh, it's the Rockies. Of course they're so cheap. This is such a cheap deal. There. Why would you want to even pay $1 to go see this team? Well, it's because you could pay dirt cheap to see a lot of really good baseball teams coming through Denver here. In the first month of this alone, you would be able to see the Phillies, the Astros, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Braves, and the Mets. And that's basically just the first month there. And then from there, I mean, it cools off maybe a little bit in May if you're not as interested in Diamondbacks and Rangers. But the Rockies with the new schedule, this is incredible. You have the Red Sox and I believe the Yankees both coming into town this year. Let me see if I'm right on that. Where are they? I thought the Yankees were coming into town early. Nope, never mind. I'm sorry. Yankees, the Rockies are in New York this year. So you got the Red Sox in town, at least there. I think this is a screaming deal. And I understand it's a way to lure you in the door. It's a standing room only ticket, but You can get that, and then you get 4 guest passes for $10 a ticket. You can go see great baseball. It might not always be the Rockies, or the Rockies upset and play some teams there, and get in there affordably. I like this. I think this is when you're looking for a low barrier here, the one benefit of a bad baseball team, it's cheap to go see them, and that's a pretty cheap way to go see the Rockies there throughout the regular season. Let me know if you're interested in that, and let me know what else is on your mind when it comes to the Colorado Rockies in the Locked On Rockies YouTube comments section. But folks, we are out of time for today, so that is going to do it for us here on the Locked On Rockies podcast. Thank you so much for making us your first listen of the day. For your second listen of the day, go check out Locked On MLB with all the great programming they got going on over there, including the new Back to the Bullpen show. And if you need more Colorado sports coverage, Locked On Broncos, Locked On Avalanche, Locked On Nuggets, and Locked On Buffs, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on YouTube. Until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.